Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm ZS Caraval from ZK Research, and I'm here at Cisco Partner Summit 2023 in Miami, Florida. I'm joined today by Chris Konrad from Worldwide Technology. Chris, you are the Area VP for Security.
That's correct. Yep. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So a quick little intro on yourself and what you do for Worldwide.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. So again, Chris Konrad, Area Vice President of Global Cyber. I've been at Worldwide now for about 9.5 years. I've been in security now for a long time, 25 years and climbing.
Yeah, that's a lot's changed, huh?
A lot's changed, but a lot has also stayed the same, which is a problem. Yeah. Some of the things we were talking about back in 1998, we're still talking about today.
Yeah. First, though, I do want to congratulate you. I know last night you were awarded one of the global partner awards for cybersecurity. So congratulations on that. What's that mean to you? That's a pretty big set of partners that do security. So winning that's pretty prestigious.
Yeah, it's certainly well-deserved and earned for sure. And Cisco being one of our largest partners. Yep. Security, we've had some starts and stops with them in the past, but I'm really bullish on all of their entire portfolio and what they're doing, the new leadership teams that have been put in place today. And we had a phenomenal year this year selling Cisco security.
Yeah, which is probably a big change from previous years.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. And before we get into that though, let's talk about just some of the trends. What are you seeing in security now? I know whenever I do my own surveys or my own, CIO roundtable, security is always at the top of the list every year.
Sure it is.
And it seems companies spend more money every year and they don't seem to close the gap. And so what's keeping CISOs up tonight?
There are a lot of challenges. And as I said just a few minutes ago, I've been in security now for 25 years. And candidly, I've never seen the industry right now as volatile and as disruptive as it is today. When you take a look at things like the geopolitical tensions, balkanization, you've got nation state attacks, ransomware gangs, and e-crime. You've got just a massive skill shortage when it comes to security. Depending upon what research topics you read, almost 3 million jobs short right now when it comes to security. So there is a lot of topics that are top of mind with every CISO globally today.
Yeah, I know G2 talked about one of the problems in security that I refer to as the asymmetric problem, where a company has so many entry points in an organization now. That's right. The bad guys need to just find one way in, that's right. But you need to protect an increasingly, really exponentially increasing the number of entry points.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The attack surface is just getting broader and broader. The adversaries today are leveraging a lot of the same technologies that we're using to defend it. AI is obviously a big topic here at the summit, but our adversaries are leveraging AI to attack us. So
how do you think about that? Yeah. Obviously, AI is going to help us close that gap, but it also helps the adversaries get smarter. Right. And so, does this create another battle that we're going to lose, or is it close the gap? How do you think about the impact of AI in the long term in this, in the cyber wars here?
We need to embrace it, and we need to understand, how to leverage it the best way. Organizations need to understand and have the appropriate policies, procedures, and standard and guidelines, and the guardrails wrapped around AI. Because obviously, if we're using it in the wrong way, it could be a dangerous tool. Yeah. I saw a comment from Jen Easterly back in the springtime. She said it's the most powerful capability of our time, but it also could be the most powerful weapon of our time.
Yeah, I think if you look throughout history, that's been true, of fire and all the way back to that point, right? So I guess it's not a surprise. So it does raise the, I know for a while with Gen AI, people were calling for us to take a moratorium on AI development. And I just thought that was idiotic because it's just all you're going to do is let the bad guys get further ahead. So.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to see, the current administration that we have right now has been very aggressive when it comes to cybersecurity, more so than any I've seen in my entire career. And it's just really good to see them start to put out some of the executive guidance around how to leverage it and then protect it. Yeah.
Now, we are a partner summit, right? They had a lot of news this week, much of it in the area of security. Mm-hmm. They announced 3 new security suites. They announced some new analytics and things. So what do you think of Cisco's security strategy today, and particularly the suites?
Well, as we said at the top of this session alone is, Cisco over the years have had a lot of starts and stops when it comes to security. I've always have been a big fan of Cisco security. They've had some tremendous products. So when it comes to ICE or Stealth Watch or Umbrella or Duo, they've done a good job with those point products. They lost a lot of share in some of the other technologies.
I think what you just said, product, right? That was they didn't have a security strategy as much as they just had a collection of some market leading products.
Absolutely.
But it didn't create a 1 + 1 = 3 value prop, right?
No doubt about it. And I think with the new leadership team that they have in place, bringing Tom Gillis back into Cisco has been phenomenal. Emma Carpenter, Scott Stout, Brian Feeney, working with Raj and G2 have been phenomenal, and they listen. And that's the most important piece for me and for WWT is the fact that they're listening to us, they're listening to what our customers are saying. I think they've got it right this time, and I'm super excited about what they have to offer.
Yeah, I know G2's big on the whole concept of the platform, whether it's the WebEx side or the security side he runs.
That's right.
I know he believes that if you bring these technologies together, it needs to create some, as he calls it, magical experiences.
That's right.
And it seems like that's what they're trying to do.
Sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and I liked, in fact, the narrative you walked through about how historically, I think one of the challenges we've had in security is we've had good tools, but we often left the integration of those tools up to the user, right? You had to know if I was trying to access this app internally, I did it this way, and if I was outside, I needed to make sure that I was VPNing in, and I had these security tools on. And anytime you leave the integration up to the user, that's a failed strategy, correct? Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think every single one of our customers and their CTOs of cyber and their CISOs, they all have the same mission right now, is to reduce the number of tools, the number of platforms that they currently have. You heard G2 talk about it in his keynote. It could be anywhere from 50 to 75, maybe as many as 100 unique security products that customers have. It's just way too many. So not only that, they're not optimized. They're not talking to each other. So they're not getting the value out of the security tools that you have purchased over the years. And with Cisco's approach and their platform approach, I think can answer a lot of those questions. Yeah,
one of my friends is actually the CISO at one of the government agencies. I won't say which one because I don't want to get hacked. But he said that they have over 200 security products.
That's not surprising.
He said every tool that comes out, they adopt thinking that it's going to create a little bit of an advantage for them. But this was I was doing a CISO panel earlier this year, and one of the CISOs to me, it's the first time in his career he actually understands that point products everywhere, even if they're perceived best of breed, doesn't lead to best-in-class threat protection.
That's
right?
correct.
What you need is that the telemetry to be able to show you across that attack surface, and I think that's where Cisco is unique, right? Even against some of the other platform vendors in security, they have reach where nobody else does because they have that big network install base. And so what is the role of the network in security? Because historically those have been two separate worlds, right?
So that's where I'm bullish on Cisco security, is around their new XDR, the extended detection and response. And the reason I'm so bullish about it is that they own the network. And when you think about everything that they can pull in from as far as telemetry, whether it's from Thousand Eyes, whether it's from their 200 million AnyConnect installations that they have out there, their entire security portfolio, the amount of telemetry that they can collect will certainly give our customers the advantage that they really need to have.
Yeah, and what's the, XDR is kind of a funny term. I wrote about it in 2018. I believe it was the first analyst to actually use the term. But since then, it's become kind of butchered.
It
right?
Sure has. Like zero trust.
Yeah, I think zero trust. And so in your mind, what is XDR?
Yeah, so it's an architecture. And so extended detection and response, it's being able to take a variety of different security platforms and products to be able to give you a holistic approach, a holistic view of what's happening inside of your network. So whether it's intelligence from cloud security products, intelligence from your email solutions, intelligence from the endpoint, to be able to see what's happening in your network.
So I'm glad you said that, because that aligns with what I've been saying. XDR is not endpoint detection on steroids or a SIM on steroids, right? It is the ability to analyze data across the entire attack surface.
That's correct, 100%.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, this whole concept of convergence and consolidation has been well talked about in security.
Sure.
I don't believe many companies of significant size will ever consolidate down to a single platform.
Of course not.
Right, and so multi-platform is likely the way. Now it may be 3 to 5 instead of 30,
Correct.
But that's still better.
Yep.
Right? But what kind of challenges does that create, though? It's not like these things are plug and play, right?
No, not at all. I mean, we live in a multi-OEM world.
Yep.
And so there are best-in-class products that organizations are going to need to have. So Cisco may have some of their top competition in some of these accounts that they're currently selling to, and that's the world that we live in, and we have to do that. But what organizations need to do is they need to be able to test these. They need to be able to do proof of concepts and get the value out of these multi-OEM integrations that they need to do. And at Worldwide, we have a place called the Advanced Technology Center, better known as the ATC.
Yep.
And we have a cyber range where organizations can stand up their architectures. They can do early field trials. They can do bake-offs. They can stitch together the platforms that they're looking for. They can inject real live malware in these environments to see exactly what's happening and how they'll work.
Yeah, now I've been to your ATC in St. Louis, very sophisticated. Gosh, you must have millions of dollars worth of equipment in there ready to test.
It's about an $800 million investment today by our executive team, sure.
Yeah, and so if customers are interested in it, do they need to go to St. Louis to use it?
Absolutely not. It's virtually accessible around the world, 365 days a year if they want to have access to it. They can visit WWT.com, they can register for an account, and they can see not only the labs that we have built over time, but they see the research and the papers that they can pull together. And it's not just security. I mean, across everything that we do at Worldwide, so there's just hundreds of different capabilities that they can launch.
Yeah, and talk about the cyber range a little bit. How does that work?
Yeah, so the cyber range is probably the
I've seen videos, red, green, blue. Yeah.
It's the single biggest competitive value proposition that we've created at Worldwide from a security standpoint. Everybody needs a place to practice. So whether it's practicing your golf game or whether it's practicing your tennis game, you need to practice. And so do the security professionals. They need a place to go to be able to do red team testing or blue team testing, or maybe do some things like capture the flag. And they can do it in a competitive environment, they can do it with their own teams, but it just gives organization a place where they can go and practice their craft. I've been saying for a long time now that security awareness training is the cheapest risk reducing measure that organizations can do. And not everybody does it, not everybody does it enough. It's the same thing with practicing your craft, whether it's tabletop exercises or whether it's going to a real live place like a cyber range to do this type of testing.
Okay, well I use a golf simulator in the off season, so this would be the cyber equivalent to that, correct?
Absolutely, there you go.
All right, anything else you want to add?
No, I appreciate your time here, and I'm really enjoying the Partner Summit here, and need to get back out and get some more executive one-on-ones.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure I include a link to the Cyber Range in the YouTube description below.
Perfect.
But on behalf of Chris Konrad, I'm ZKast, saying thanks for watching. Chris, appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
And so if you're watching this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on another ZKast.